video about the Bohemian Club, okay, which is essentially it's like a Republican summer camp where they participate in different skits as a means of catharsis. Now, I personally am not somebody that's real crazy about this sort of thing. I'm not a truther, as people call it. My father was into these conspiracy theories, and a lot of it is just, honestly, a lot of nonsense. One of the biggest, if you read the book Behold a Pale Horse by Bill Cooper, one of the things that you'll notice is this poor guy has never seen a conspiracy theory that he doesn't believe in, regardless of whether or not they contradict one another. And my father was a big believer in a lot of this stuff. And the thing is, you have to really suspend your disbelief and suspend all rational thought in order to believe a lot of this stuff. But, so what is Bohemianism? Obviously, this will be linked in the description, but Bohemianism is literally like free thinkers, okay? A free thinker is a Bohemian. A Bohemian is somebody, especially an artist, literary man or actor, who leads a free, vagabond, or irregular life, not being particular as to the society he frequents and despising conventionalities, generally speaking. It was freethinkers and liberals who originally formed the Bohemian Club in San Francisco's Union Square district. Blah, blah, blah. It didn't take long for the club to open its doors to people with money. That was the end of the bohemian aspect of the group, in all but the club's name. Okay. Aspiring members had to be Caucasian, conservative, and powerful. Being filthy rich also helps. Now, what I find funny about these conspiracy theorists, they talk about the Freemasons, the Knights of Columbus, the Illuminati, all this stuff. What about the Yahweh Ben Yahweh cult that's affiliated with Blacks for Trump? Nobody ever talks about that at all. But let's go on. Okay, so obviously the scariest thing is the cremation of care. Let's see, where is that? Is that in here? History, membership, operation, traditions, and rituals. Okay, the cremation of care ceremony is a theatrical production in which some of the club's members participate as actors. It was conducted in 1881. The production was devised by James F. Bowman, with George T. Brumley playing the high priest. It was originally set up within the plot of the Serious Hijinks dramatic performance on the first weekend of the summer encampment. This is similar to Beltane, a Beltane type, and I'm going to get into effigy burning and the importance of effigy burning as a means of catharsis. The ceremony served as catharsis for pent-up high spirits and to present symbolically the salvation of the trees by the club. The cremation of care was separated from other Grove plays in 1913 and moved to the first night to become an exorcising of the demon to ensure the success of the ensuing weeks. Meaning what they're doing is they're having a means of catharsis, burning an effigy to get rid of their pent-up frustrations from their responsibilities, so that they can relax for the rest of the week. This is not, it's silly. I don't think that this is something that I would personally participate in, but it's not anything like spooky. Okay. A Grove play is performed for one night during the final weekend. Yeah, that's right. Let me get into the different... here's some of the controversies. Women. Although no woman has ever been given full membership in the Bohemian Club, the 4 female honorary members were hostess Margaret Bowman, poet Ina Coolbrith, served as librarian for the club. Actress Elizabeth Crocker Bowers, Sarah Jane Lippincott. The Bohemian was charged with discrimination by the California. Oh, they were charged with discrimination by the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing. So you have to understand, this group is not not above the law. That's what I think is funny. What people will understand, they were charged with discrimination in 1978 by the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing over its refusal to hire female employees. In January 1981, an administrative judge issued a decision supporting the practices of the club, noting that club members at the Grove urinate and open without even the use of rudimentary toilet facilities, and that the presence of females would, after club members' behavior. However, the judge's decision was overruled by the state's Fair Employment. It was overruled by the state's Fair Employment and Housing Commission, which on October 17, 1981, ordered the club to begin recruiting and hiring female, women as employees. So they're not above the law, despite what people might think. So this is the Cremation of Care's Wikipedia page, and what I want to make sure that people understand here, what this is about the victory of Christianity over the Druids. So, in which brotherly love and Christianity battled and won against paganism, converting the Druids away from bloody sacrifice. Reading formed the framework of the ceremony, but the main actors, So it's really a celebration of the victory of Christianity over paganism, is what this whole thing is about. Now there's a lot of Druidic, how can I put this, symbolism and things like that, but this is in many ways a way to celebrate the victory of Christianity over paganism. People, I think, are very confused by what's going on here because of this secretive nature of it. And I think what it is, it's kind of just like a fraternity, like any other fraternity, like the Freemasons or something, which I know people get freaked by the Freemasons, but there's nothing really that spooky, I don't think, going on here. Why did the Scots in the 18th century perform mock human sacrifices over cake? Huh? Why? What's up with this on Beltane? Okay, Highlands, a bonfire blazes, the night sky, such 18th century ritual of the burnt Beltane, Bannock, and the mock sacrifice is one of several bygone traditions associated with the ancient Celtic festival of Beltane, celebrated from the eve of April 30th through May 1st. Beltane, so that's Walpurgisnacht through May Day. Beltane marks the beginning of summer. When many people picture similar May 1st or May Day festivities, they might imagine dancers around a maypole and flower-clad May queens, while modern-day Beltane celebrations incorporate some of these elements. Early Beltane Eve nights were more intense affairs, filled with sky-licking flames, purification rites, magic, and offerings to powerful beings. The festival came at the precipice of the crucial time, with months of summer hunting and farming ahead. It was essential to supplicate both natural and supernatural forces, like its winter welcoming festival, fellow festival of Samhain, which is Halloween. But what you have to understand, Christianity has a mock human sacrifice. Christianity is essentially paganism. People should know that. Christianity is essentially the evolution of paganism. I've done videos about this, but I think I've had to take them down due to religious nonsense. But what you have to understand, who else has a mock human sacrifice? Well, Christianity does. The Eucharist is a mock human sacrifice. Okay? You're essentially substituting bread and wine for the body and blood of Christ, who is alleged, the ultimate sacrifice, blah, 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 the Lamb of God, yada, 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 douchey, blah, 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 blah. So, in the pagan tradition, particularly the Wiccan tradition, you have cakes and ale or something of that nature. What is Beltane? This is from druidry.org. It's thought that the ancients only recognized two seasons, these being summer and winter. Beltane is the time when the earth is literally buzzing with fertility, life springs forth in all of its richness, and the land is covered with beautiful flowers, the freshly opened leaves of the trees, quality green, At Beltane, the lady of the land takes the hand of the horned god. This is the unification of the goddess and the god. Paganism is a duality of masculinity and femininity. Some celebrate Beltane on the dates given above, whilst others look to the flowers of the May tree as their signal that Beltane has at last arrived. Beltane, meaning bright fire or lucky fire, is held May 1st, May 15th in Scotland, and celebrates the start of summer, the crop, and pasturing season. Although scholars are non-committal, many of us believe Beltane honors the ancient continental Celtic sun and healer god Belinus. And at Beltane, we meaning the Druids, open to the god and goddess of youth. However old we are, spring makes us feel young again, and at Beltane we jump over the fires of vitality and youth and allow the vitality to enliven us and heal us. When young, we might use this time as an opportunity to connect to our sensuality in a positive, creative way, and when older, the mating that we seek might well be one of the feminine and masculine sides of our nature. Integration of the male and female aspects of the self has long been seen as one of the prime goals of spiritual and psychotherapeutic work, and Beltane represents the time when we can open to this work fully, blah, blah, blah. So this is just showing that a Spanish effigy burning festival was added to UNESCO's heritage list. People should understand effigy burning is a very popular thing. In England, they have Guy Fawkes Day, in which a Catholic saboteur was, found out and burned to death by the British. So, Guy Fawkes Day celebrates the burning of a Catholic saboteur, and it's just not uncommon for there to be effigy burning. This is a Spanish ritual of effigy burning. So, what is the wheel of the year? Okay, so you have the Sabbats, which are the solar holidays. These are the major holidays. Yule, which is similar to, it's Yule. It's similar to Christmas. Imbolc, which is like Groundhog's Day. Ostara, which is similar to Easter. Beltane, which we've talked about. Litha, which is the summer solstice, the first day. Lugnasad, this is the festival of the first harvest. Mabon, the fall equinox. Samhain, which is, Halloween. The Aspats are the holidays of the moon. This is what you have to understand. The year was changed by the Catholic Church. Okay, that's why it's called the Gregorian year. It's after, I think, Pope Gregor that changed the year. A proper solar year is what the pagan year is. There's nothing particularly pagan about the pagan year. It's the year that nature intended. Okay, the reason that these key points are celebrated is to attune one to the natural rhythms, to attune oneself to God, if one will. If one equates nature with God and the laws of nature with the laws of God, one should understand that this is an attunement to God and God's rhythms, if you will. What's positive Christianity? Okay. Positive Christianity was a movement within Germany which promoted the belief that, the German people should be maintained, and it changed itself from Nicene Christianity, used the Now I'm going to get into this deeper. I don't want to get my video banned, so I better not. So I decided not to explore positive Christianity too deeply in this because I didn't want my video to get banned. But this is a list of the Grove plays at Bohemian Grove. So let's see here. I mean, there's nothing really that particularly secret about this. The Man in the Forest, A Legend of the Tribe, Montezuma, the Hamadryads, a Masque of Apollo. The Dryads are like wood nymphs. Female druids are actually referred to as dryads in some traditions. The Owl and Care, The Triumph of Bohemia, a forest play. The Sons of Baldur. Baldur is the sun god. St. Patrick of Tara, The Caveman, a play of the Redwoods. The Green Knight, that has to do probably with Arthur, King Arthur, and the Grail myth or some nonsense like that. A lot of this, you see a lot of symbolism, primarily from like Shakespearean era. Shakespeare is known as the Bard. What people should take into consideration, some of this stuff, it seems more to be like Bohemian than pagan, if you will. It seems to be more related to poetry and things of that nature than it does any type of paganism or anything like that. But it does seem to be a catharsis. Now you have to understand, hold on, let me find that real quick. So people like to proclaim that this is some big conspiracy. Well, the weaving spiders come not here is a quote from Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. And what that's about is that people are not supposed to discuss politics while they are at the Bohemian Club. To me, it seems like the Bohemian Club is essentially just a way for conservative men, to blow off steam in a controlled environment. I don't think there's anything criminal going on. I don't think that it's above the law by any, as proven, it's not really above the law. And I think that, it's not really that secretive when you really come down to it. I think a lot of it is blown out of proportion because of the powerful people involved. I might do a video on Skull and Bones and why I think that's a bunch of baloney too. But, that's all for this video.